Hey, yo, we got some breaking news tonight, y'all. I was supposed to do this video earlier today, but as usual, I was doing something else. But anyway, Shavkat, for the first time in I don't know how long, is not ranked. So we all know we got the news with Shavkat. And by the way, it's your boy DHP, man. And yeah, I said I was gonna make the rankings video either today or tomorrow. More than likely, I'm doing it tonight around like 10, 11 o'clock. But the upload, it depending on whenever it upload, y'all get it either tonight or tomorrow morning. But anyway, yeah, we got the news. What was it, yesterday or the day before that? Shavkat ended up fucking up his knee again. He got to go through some more surgery with the knee, and he's gonna be out until like later this year, 2026 or early 2027. And because of that news, Shavkat is no longer the second ranked fighter at welterweight, and now he is unranked. So this how we're gonna lead into the first video, first ranking video 2026. We gotta talk about Shavkat because what the fuck? Before we even get into the rest of the rankings, that is crazy. Now if you check out my last couple of videos on the rankings, I was interested to see how, because Dana said, a while back, Dana said that the rankings is going to be changed. Like, it's going to be the meta AI or whatever it's called. They're going to dictate the rankings moving forward. Because before, the rankings was kind of like, I want to say, because what's crazy, all these years, I really never looked into how the fighter rankings, especially for the sport of MMA. I really haven't looked into how how the rankings actually were. But I believe, I want to go off the top of my dome and say that it was all media driven. Like, you had like I wish, tell you the truth, and maybe it is like that, but I wish the Athletic Commission did the rankings. I wish they would have did it that way, but I think the UFC in particular is more media driven as far as the rankings. But yeah, Shavkat, this is tough. So when Shavkat comes back, right, let's just talk about the future for a minute. If Shavkat was to come back, let's say 2026, late 2026, early 2027, how do I want to say this? Because we have seen instances where somebody of a Shavkat caliber do come back and get a immediate top 3 fight off the rip, and them winning that fight, it puts them back in the top 3, top 5. But where did we go from here for Shavkat? Do Shavkat get that honor of getting like a top 3, top 5 caliber opponent and hopeful that he wins and get his ranking back? Or do he have to climb the ladder back as if he was the nigga that was on the rise like he once was, a couple years ago? Like, it is. And on top of that, is Shavkat going to even be the same? Because the only person I can think of that's like this is, for those that watch football, y'all know about Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick, I think he tore like his ACL like twice in 2 seasons, like in back-to-back seasons. It's either his ACL or his Achilles. I want to say it was his ACL. The wide receiver, he used to play for the Denver Broncos, but he tore his ACL in 2 seasons back-to-back. So he never, those 2 seasons that he tore his ACL, he never finished the full season. I think the first time it was like mid-season, early season, something like that. Or it was one of the times it was training camp, and then other times it was like mid-season. But either way, it was like back-to-back seasons that he had the same injury. I can't remember the time. The only person in MMA-wise that's kind of like Shavkat is Dom Cruz. And I'm like, when I heard the news, I'm like, this is like my boy Dom Cruz all over again. Because that's why it took so long. That whole time TJ was bantamweight champ, when TJ took the belt off of Hannah Barral, and TJ was on that little run at bantamweight as the champion. that whole time Dom Cruz was hurt. At first he was hurt, and so that's how he ended up relinquishing the belt. And then he got hurt again. So then in between that time, he relinquished the belt, and then he got hurt again. TJ was able to go through the ranks, beat Renan Barão, rematch Renan Barão, and then go on like a little run. And then Dom Cruz finally got healthy again. But it's really, that's the only person in MMA I can really think of as far as like injuries like back to back like this. So what? I'm gonna have to double back and make a separate video on Shavkat alone, because this it's getting to the point with Shavkat where it feels like Shavkat is gonna be in that now. Zabit was a different case. Like Zabit's situation is totally different, because I believe Zabit did have an injury, but he also had a condition where I felt like that stopped him from fighting. It's kind of like Brock Lesnar with the diverticulitis. Brock had, for those that didn't know about Brock, during his little run in the UFC, he had that diverticulitis shit going on. So when you fighting with diverticulitis, if you take a body shot, good luck. So going back to Zabit, I think Zabit's condition stopped him from fighting. Shavkat is going. He's going to have to be in that category, because it's going to be a what if. Shavkat is really a what if story in MMA as far as the UFC, because arguably he is the best welterweight fighter in that weight class other than Islam. But it's like, what can you do when you always hurt, and how is he going to be after this injury? You know what I mean? But we'll get to. I'm probably going to double back, which is crazy, because what's tomorrow's Wednesday? Tomorrow's Wednesday, right? So I'm gonna have to get started on this Mario Batista and Vinicius Oliveira content. But damn, bro. But anyway, let's get to the rankings. We're gonna talk about Shavkat more, a little bit more once we get to welterweight. The heavyweight. Tom Aspinall, still the champ. Sirigan is ranked number 1. Alexander Volkov is number 2. Sergey Pav is number 3. Curtis Blades number 4. Number 5 is Waldo Costa. So him beating Dilu, he is now in the top 5 rankings, which is good. Which is good, because he's the fighter for this current new generation hybrid, I guess you could say. He's really the newest fighter to enter that top 5, so that's good. Jotun Almeida back to number 6. Sergey Spivak, number 7. Marcin Tiberiu 8th. Dilu 9th. Ante DeGelia, that's Tom's teammate, he's 10th. Talenson Teixeira has went up 4 spots, beating Tatu Evasa. So Talenson is up to 11th. Shamil Gavzi 12th. Mick Parkin 13th. Walter Walker 14th, and Tatu Evasa is 15th. So really the most to gain is really Talenson Teixeira. Talenson Teixeira probably had the most fluctuating within his fights, because he lost some spots to Dilu, and now he gained some spots back. He lost some spots losing to Dilu, and then he gained some spots beating Tatu Evasa. But as you see, Talenson, Shamil Gazid, Walter Walker is definitely the nigga to watch for moving forward in 2026, especially if he keep heel hooking niggas. But other than that, Waldo Cortez Acosta is moving on up. Now, Waldo is probably, he's the way heavyweight going right now, he could potentially just sit back and just tell you the truth. He could just sit back and potentially get next for the title. Just how the UFC is moving nowadays, and not only how they moving, but how heavyweight is. Waldo is a fresh new face that they can throw at, for a title. But I wouldn't be surprised if he gets somebody like a Curtis Blades. So you see Curtis, Sergey Pav, Alexander Volkov. I wouldn't be surprised if he get one of those niggas. But I wouldn't be surprised if, they just throw him a bone because he's a fresh new face. We still got to know what the fuck going on. At this point, they might just run with an interim. They might, and y'all know how I feel about the interims, but they might just throw an interim at the heavyweight division. It's probably gonna be Cyril Gahn, and I wouldn't tell you what. Now that I think about it, I would not be surprised if it's Cyril Gahn and Waldo Cortez Acosta as an interim title fight. I swear to God, I would not be surprised. So go to light heavyweight. We go Alex Pereira. I do want to talk about Alex Pereira and Cam Zat. Because Marty Usman, he said something on his recent podcast. And honestly, and it's, it's funny because usually in other sports, there's a couple insider journalists that you would trust over anybody else. But in MMA, when you have fighters like Marty Usman, that's, well connected and that's still actively fighting, when he says that we're going to get to Cam Zat more at middleweight. But I want to talk about this right now as we at light heavyweight, because Marty Usman on his podcast with Triple C, and shout out to them boys, it's definitely a possibility. Based on what he said, it's definitely a possibility that we're going to see Cam Zat and Alex Pereira potentially. If not that matchup, Cam Zat is definitely going to light heavyweight, because it seemed like, which is crazy to me, because, so, according to Marty Usman, Cam Zat at middleweight is not that weight cut for middleweight is not long term, which is crazy to me that he was able to cut the welterweight whereas others, because we seen Conor at featherweight and Conor looked like he was about to die. But Cam Zat was talking all that shit about he wanted to dominate welterweight. So, obviously I knew just how Cam Zat was. I knew that he wouldn't be able to handle the welterweight weight cut long term wise. I thought middleweight, obviously the way Cam Zat is, light heavyweight, he can make light heavyweight. But I feel like middleweight was kind of like that happy medium. Like, it might be little difficulties, but it's still good enough to where Cam Zat can still smash, right? But apparently the Marty Usman, for, what they were saying, Cam Zat is having a hard time at middleweight too, as far as like long-term weight cuts. So that's very, very interesting moving forward. And I spoke about this before, that Cam Zat said, we're going to get to the middleweight. Cam Zat said that he wanted to defend the middleweight belt like once or twice, and then that's it, and then go up to like heavyweight. It's very interesting to hear, which is crazy to me. It's always mind-boggling to me how these fighters do what they do, and they cut the weight at the weight that they cutting at, but then it's still harmful to their body. It's not a long-term success, which is why Ilya Taporia, he went up to lightweight, because he straight out said, yeah, I can cut the 145, but I can't do it long-term. So Ilya was smart enough to like, you know what? It is what it is. I did what I did at featherweight. Time to go to lightweight. Cam Zat, he always says something about it, but the way Cam Zat go about shit, it's like you really just push it to the side, because he said he wanted to dominate welterweight, but we all knew that welterweight, it wasn't going to be long-term for him because he was having problems with his health. Middleweight, you would think, like I said, middleweight would be a happy medium, but apparently it's not. Apparently light heavyweight is the division he needs to be in, as far as like his body, which now I'm thinking about it, it kind of makes sense, because Cam Zat, out of all the niggas, like the champions, Cam Zat probably has the most, if you look at all the champions right now in the UFC, Cam Zat has the most problems with his health. So it kind of lines up with maybe middleweight ain't really long-term deal with him. But anyway, Alex Pereira, the champ. Megami Unklev is number 1. Yuri Prohaska is number 2. Carlos Ulberg is number 3, which I keep getting conflicting. That's why I really haven't said none yet, because I keep getting conflicting reports about Pereira, Carlos Ulberg, even Carlos Ulberg, Yuri Prohaska. It's kind of conflicting reports. And, you know, Khamzat, like going back to Khamzat trying to move up as well. So I see why there's a couple options at play. So I see why they really haven't said anything. I think Alex Pereira and John Jones. Alex Pereira and John Jones. Even Dana White spoke about that. He said, I think he's all for that matchup with John Jones going to light heavyweight. So there's a lot of shit at play, which is why, you know, we really haven't gotten any news yet, and I didn't really even expect any news because there's a lot of options at play. Khalil Roundtree, ranked number 4. Jan Blachowicz, number 5. Asman Merkinov, number 6. Jamal Hill, number 7. I still don't understand why Jamal Hill. And that's the crazy thing about it. If Shavkat is going to be out for a while, another while, right? Why is Jamal Hill still ranked number 7th? I would at least, and this, it seems like it's a rant. Every time I do these rankings, it's always a rant. Because, okay, so you telling me that Shavkat is not a ranked welterweight anymore because of what he got going on with his knee? But Jamal Hill, who publicly made a statement saying he's going to step away from MMA for at least a year. Like, he's not officially retiring. He's just stepping away for at least a year to get his Achilles right. But Jamal Hill is still ranked number 7. Like, how they even, you know what I mean? Like, how's that add up? You got one nigga that's out the rankings because of the injury he just suffered. But yeah, you got a nigga that just said that he's taking time away. At least drop the Jamal Hill to at least, like, and he's coming off like 3 losses back to back. Like 3 losses, because it was Alex Pereira, then Yuri Prohaska, and then Khalil Roundtree. So that's 3 losses back to back. He needs to be at least like on the bottom half of the rankings, or he needs to be unranked. Point blank, period. I tell you the truth, he needs to be unranked if you want to be completely 100. Because at least with Shavkat, yeah, you could kind of say Jamal Hill has more activity time because before he made this announcement that he's going to step away, Jamal Hill has gotten 2 extra fights. But Shavkat, since he last fought, Shavkat got a dub, and it was a title eliminator. Basically, well, it was an interim shot, but basically it was a title contendership fight, and he won. Jamal Hill has lost 3 times in a row. So that's why this is why I keep ranting like over and over. Like, what the fuck is going on with the rankings? But oh boy, Volkan Ozdemir is 8th. Bogdan Guskov is 9th. Dom Reyes is 10th. Alexander Rukic 11th. Johnny Walker 12th. Nikita Krylov 13th. Xingmin Yang is 14th. And Alonzo Minfield is 15th. I mean, light heavyweight, as y'all can see over here, they got, you know, light heavyweight really going to have too much movement until we get to, like, the White House time. I really think that's when we're going to get the announcement, because I feel like somebody, Alex Pereira might definitely be on the White House card. Like, I have just my assumption and the shit especially with John Jones. Yeah, Alex Pereira definitely going to be on that White House card. So, yeah, we definitely want to see about that. Middleweight, Khamzat. Now, I expect, as we did, like, the who's going to keep their belt at the end of the year 2026. I did that video. I gotta get the dates of my videos. But Khamzat, now skillful wise, talent wise, Cam's should keep his belt, but he ain't. He, like I said earlier, he's looking to move up to light heavyweight. So we're going to be looking at a new champion by, I want to say, like the summertime, like the heart of the summer. We're going to look at a new champion, and then the middleweight, the weight class, everybody's going to move up. So there's going to be a lot of fluctuating in middleweight as the year go on for 2026. But Cam Zach, DDP is number 1. Nasruddin Imov is number 2. Sean Strickland is number 3. Number 4 is Anthony Hernandez. They're going to be fighting on the Fight Night card. So that's going to be a good Fight Night matchup. Brendan Allen's number 5. That's nice. That's nice. Brendan Allen has finally cracked the top 5, because my other rankings video, I don't believe he was ranked number 5th. If I'm not mistaken, he might have been. But now I'm just now seeing it. He's ranked number 5. So that's nice. He finally cracked the top 5 after being like 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th for like so long. Izzy is number 6. Caio Borrello is number 7. 8 is RDR. Number 9 is Robert Whittaker. 10 is Jared Cannonier. Number 11 is Roman Dolidze. Number 12 is Paulo Costa. Number 13 is RoboCop. Number 14 is Joe Pyfer. Number 15 is Bruno Ferreira. Now, Joe Pyfer, I spoke about this. Joe Pyfer beating Izzy, if he was to beat Izzy, that would be huge. Not only for his resume, for his UFC stardom, but also for the rankings, because then it's going to put him inside that top 10, 6th or 7th rank. Also, depending on how Sean Strickland and Fluffy Hernandez go, a lot of shit, it could go either way. Then you got Caio Borrello. Yeah, Caio Borrello and RDR, they fighting. So, yeah, middleweight is definitely going to be fluctuating up and down within, like, the next couple months. But, yep, here we go, welterweight. Here we go. The champ, Islam Makhachev. Number 1 is JDM. Number 2 is Ian Gary. Number 3 is Michael Morales. Number 4 is Belal Muhammad. Number 5 is Carlos Paredes. Number 6 is Sean Brady. Number 7 is Marty Usman. Number 8, Leon Edwards. Number 9 is Joaquin Buckley. Number 10 is Gilbert Burns. Number 11 is Gabriel Buffoon. Number 12 is Jeff Neal. Number 13, Colby Covington. Number 14 is D-Rod. And number 15 is MVP. So MVP, which we just got announced today, he's fighting Sam Patterson on Leron Murphy and Marcel Evlov London card. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. So pretty much everybody moved up the spot because of Shavkat. Gilbert Burns, even niggas like Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns, and that's crazy that Gilbert Burns jumped up the spot over Gabriel Buffoon. But, yeah, everybody moved out the spot because of Shavkat not being ranked no more. Usually, when niggas not being ranked, I want to also add on to that. When you not being ranked, is either one or two things. Either you're about to retire and you get, you request to get off the rankings, or you're about to move up or down a weight class. As Max Holloway did with featherweight. He said he was not going back to featherweight any longer. He's staying at lightweight, so he requested to be off the featherweight rankings. But Shavkat's case got to be inactivity because of the injury, which, once again, is crazy considering Jamal Hill is still ranked number 7. So, and also one thing too, because it looking like it might be Islam and Marty Usman for the welterweight title, but we haven't got any official announcement yet. But it's kind of, that's low key in the works. Like, that's one of the top 2 or 3 options for Islam. It's also crazy, and this goes back to what I was saying videos ago, like months ago, where the UFC is heading towards. Marty Usman is ranked number 7. So why the fuck is Islam, especially because Islam is a new champ, why should Marty Usman get the title shot when he's ranked number 7? Yeah, he's coming off a bounce back. He's coming off a win, but that was a win from losing, not only losing the title, but then he lost a rematch. But he lost a rematch for the title as well. So in his last 3 fights, he's 1-3. He's 1-2, and 2 of them was him losing the belt as a champion, and then him losing that title fight as the challenger getting his rematch. So why should he? Marty Usman is getting the title shot off his name alone, or he's being considered off his name alone. Versus where you got the new generation niggas right here, especially with JDM losing the belt, you got a new champ, so that opens the door for somebody like Ian Gary, Michael Morales. Belal probably needs one more win for him to get back in the conversations. Carlos Paredes. Carlos Paredes is in the same boat as Marty Usman, like you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, really, realistically, like, the way, y'all know how my philosophy is, especially the way I came up under the UFC, the old ways of UFC, nigga. I would either, if you're not going to go with the rematch with JDM, which I don't think it needs to be a rematch because Islam ended up dominating JDM. I feel like JDM now going to have to be the challenger, the former champ, fighting his way back to a title shot with like 1 to 2 wins. 2 wins at max. The way I would book the UFC, based on my philosophy and the way the UFC used to be, the title shot either got to go to Ian Gary or Michael Morales. It got to go to either one. And let's be honest, the way to be quite honest, it should be Ian Gary. It should be Ian Gary because he won like twice, 2 in a row, and he's second ranked. So it should be Ian Gary, but I go on and on about that. But lightweight, also MVP, he ranked again. MVP is just, which is crazy because, yeah, so they took him off. I just noticed that because he was MVP beating Jared Cannonier. That's crazy. Now I'm starting to realize, because MVP beating Jared Cannonier put MVP in the middleweight rankings. Like, he was like 9th, 10th. I gotta look at my other rankings video I did. My last rankings video of 2025, I gotta look at that because MVP was inside the top 10 rankings. Or he was like 9th through like 12th at middleweight. So now he's not even ranked. But welterweight, he's back in the rankings at welterweight. Rankings, I'm telling you, rankings is really like flawed. Like I say it over and over, but rankings in today's UFC is just so flawed. It's ridiculous. Lightweight, we got Ilya Topuria, Gaethje. So Gaethje, being the interim title holder, that's going to automatically give him the number 1 spot. So, which, I mean, it is what it is with that. Because realistically, that's what I'm saying. Like, rankings is like, now I really think about it, the rankings is low-key flawed because Gaethje is their interim title holder, right? So that's automatically going to give him the number 1 ranked spot. Let me set this thing right here. It's automatically going to get him number 1 spot, but Gaethje beat Paddy, who's ranked number 6. Well, okay, so I see he's ranked. Based on this, Paddy was still ranked number 6 though. So, but it seemed like he was ranked number 5 based on that. But Paddy was still ranked number 5, ranked number 6, right? Gaethje has losses over Charlie Olives and Max Holloway, and somehow he beat Paddy Pimblett, who he was ranked above, vote to him over, especially over somebody like Arman Sayukin. But I kind of get it though. But anyway, Gaethje is the interim title holder. Arman is number 2. Charlie Olives number 3. Max Holloway number 4. BSD beating Dan Hooker, got him vaulted to the 5th rank. Paddy Pimblett number 6. Number 7 is Mateusz Gamrot. Number 8 is Dan Hooker. Number 9 is Mauricio Rufy. Jumped 5 spots with him beating Vazid, which I kind of expected it. I think I said on the review or whatever, I was like, he's probably going to get to like 7th, 8th, 9th. So I kind of expected that. 10th is Renato Moicano. Number 11 is Rafael Vazid. Number 12, Benel Dariush. Number 13, Michael Chandler. Number 14 is Manuel Torres. And number 15 is Fadaz Ziem. Lightweight is still looking hella stacked, bro. It's still looking hella stacked. Because you got niggas, and I'm disappointed in Grant Dawson because now he's out of the top 15 with his last loss. But you still got Grant Dawson, who's still competitive. Then you got Inicio Bahahandis. Then you got Qualeen Zakid. I'm telling you, lightweight is lightweight forever is going to be stacked. But yeah, that's it for lightweight. Featherweight, you got Volk, Marcel Evlov number 1, Diego Lopez number 2, Leron Murphy is number 3 now, Yair is number 4, Aljo number 5, Gene Silva has vaulted to number 6, number 7 is Arnold Allen, number 8 is Yusuf Zalal, number 9 is Steve Garcia, number 10 is T-City, number 11 Josh Emmett, number 12 is Pitbull, number 13 is Kevin Vajallos. Number 14, Dan Ige. Number 15 is David Onamba. So, featherweight is shaping up to be pretty decent. But, really, Gene Silva. Now, Gene Silva is in a position where his grappling is definitely going to matter. Like, his grappling defense definitely going to matter. Because, more than likely, to be quite honest, the way the UFC is, and I say this over and over, the way UFC is now, he's potentially going to get winner. I'm going to take Arman Sayukin out of the equation. Because Dana, Hunter Campbell, and them, they really haven't said anything about that shit. That's just out of Arman's mouth. But don't be surprised that shit happened, though. But at the same time, if we're talking about featherweight speaking, the way the UFC is now, Gene Silva is definitely going to get next shot. Not next shot against Volk, but the winner. So one of two things is going to happen. Either he's automatic, so whoever wins out of Marcel Evlov and Leron Murphy is going to get the next shot of Volk. He's going to get the winner of Volk in that matchup. Either that, or he's going to get the loser of that matchup, or he's going to get Yair Rodriguez. So that's T-City. I ain't got nothing to say about T-City, bro. That's my man's, but it's over for T-City, bro. It really is over for T-City. Bantamweight, we got Petrion, Marab number 1, Umar Nurmagomedov number 2, Sugarshan O'Malley number 3, number 4 is Corey Sandhagen, number 5 is Sung Yadong, number 6 is Amin Zabid, number 7 is Davison Figueiredo, number 8 is Chito Vera, number 9 Mario Batista, number 10 David Martinez, number 11 is Vinicius Oliveira, which they fighting this weekend. Number 12 is Peyton Talbot. Number 13, Rob Font. Number 14, Colin Phillips. Number 15 is Montana Jackson. So bantamweight is shaping up pretty nice too. Really, Peyton Talbot has the most to gain with his potential next matchup, because you can go a lot of ways with Peyton Talbot, because he can fight some of these niggas up here. He can fight Chito Vera. Or he probably potentially can fight the winner of Mario Batista and Vinicius Oliveira. Or if you really want to fast track him, you can have him fight Amin Zabid. So it's getting a little interesting at bantamweight. Flyweight, got Joshua Van, Alexander Patosius, number 1. Number 2 is Manel Cap. Number 3 is Tatsudo Tada. Number 4, Brandon Revolve. Number 5 is Brandon Moreno. Number 6, Amir Balzi. Number 7 is Balzi. Number 7 is Asu Balve. By the way, I'm hearing that Suabalve, he's out of his fight against Brandon Moreno, so they're gonna have to find a replacement for that. Koji Horiguchi, he's 8th. They definitely fast tracking him because he getting Amir Ballsy. Number 9 is Tim Elliott. Number 10 is Alex Perez. Number 11 is Steve Erzad. Number 12 is Tiger Boganov. 13 is Charles Johnson. Number 14 is Bruno Gustavo da Silva. And number 15 is Lonir Kavanov. So overall, the rankings for what it is shaping up, especially with these upcoming matchups, depending on who loses and who wins. It's going to be a lot of fluctuating within pretty much each weight class. But once again, heavyweight is probably going to be the least amount of fluctuating, to be quite honest. But once again, as usual, some of it look good and some of it is still flawed. There's nothing new with that. But yeah, that's the first rankings video for 2026 for the UFC calendar year. And it's starting off with a bang because Shavkat is no longer ranked. So I'm gonna turn around. I gotta make a lot of videos this week because I'm also doing PFL. So it's gonna be y'all niggas gonna get a lot of content this week. But yeah, Shavkat, I may have to double back with Shavkat tomorrow because that's fucking crazy that he's not ranked. But anyway, till my next video, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, y'all.